Hi, Veronica.
Hi, Isabel. Well, just in case you didn't know, like I sometimes make notes. I
No
don't need it
problem.
official, so it's okay. It's
No
okay.
problem.
But I do want to repeat that this time is for you. We
Thank
have
you.
half an hour to chat a little bit about something that is important to you. And it would be a pleasure for me if we can focus on you for half an hour because
Thank
sometimes I
you.
think I
That's
overtake.
very kind of you.
So,
So,
what is it you would like to talk about?
I mentioned this before. It's about my driving. And a quick update. I failed my driving test 3 times this year.
Okay.
And I will have my new test on my birthday. And
Oh.
it's been difficult to continue with my lessons because it coincided with the poor weather, so I had to cancel a lot of sessions. I'm having a new routine now. It's a lot of money I'm spending. What I want to explore today, Veronica, is something that I've been thinking about because it has been difficult for me to pass my driving tests.
Hmm.
It's almost like this negative belief that I have about myself almost contaminated the rest of my other aspects of my life, if that makes sense. Like because I'm not a good driver, or it has been so hard, it's almost like this negative belief is affecting everything that I just think maybe I'm not very good. There is something wrong with my brain. And that is something like, I'm noticing that.
Yeah. Very interesting
Yeah,
perspective. Or like
yeah,
how is it like infiltrating?
exactly.
Mm.
Exactly, Veronica. Yeah, that's what I've
Okay.
been noticing.
So, a setback in one area of your life, specifically in driving,
Yeah,
that you've tried 3 times and it didn't work,
yeah,
is starting getting into your head and infiltrating other areas of your life.
yeah.
And it's negative. And
And
I guess,
it's negative. It's negative, Veronica.
yeah.
Yeah.
And how would you like it to be?
Well, I think it's important today because we were talking today about, paying attention to your thoughts
Yeah.
and see it for what it is.
Mm-hmm. Seeing it for
Um,
what it is.
see
Mm.
for what it is that I have these thoughts that um, the negative thoughts about driving are I'm slow and I'm stupid.
Mm.
I think that's, and also there is something wrong with my brain. There
Mm.
is, okay, if I think about it, is there is something wrong with me. That is a negative thought. There is something wrong with me.
I just cannot stop laughing. I'm like, I'm the same, Isabel. I'm the same.
Let's go to the deep, right like inside of my head. There is something wrong with me.
But I have picked up, you also said I'm not a good driver,
Yes,
you said.
yes,
So I'm not a good driver includes I'm slow, stupid, there's something wrong with me, there's something wrong with my brain. And
yes,
there's something wrong with my brain is an old thing I remember from many, many sessions before us, even when we were still in our coaching group together. we would show up to our sessions and you would say, I struggle with distraction,
Yeah,
overwhelmed, it
yeah,
was a
yeah.
lot. And you had this sense of like, there's something wrong with my brain.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes,
yeah. So as you said, you wanted to see it for what it is.
yes.
And you then said, I had these thoughts. So as you know, like it's a very helpful way of realizing like it's not
Yeah.
I'm this. It's
Yes,
you have thoughts,
that's
right?
right.
So you've detached a little bit already from this.
Yes.
So what would be really helpful for you today, in this session, um, to tackle this?
I think will be helpful to recognize that I can have negative thoughts, and I always say it's just when you are human, that's the price to pay to be human. You have thoughts and you have negative thoughts. But when when I have these negative thoughts, I need to have a reminder that it's just a negative thought and almost um, I'm thinking now. Okay, what I'm going to say is related to a training that I'm doing. So I'm bringing something I'm learning from acceptance and commitment therapy. And maybe this is something that will help me in those moments. So they call the away moves and towards moves.
Mhm.
You can have all the thoughts and feelings, it's just the price of being human. But you can, instead of pushing it away, you can say, what is your towards move? And the towards move means what is the action that is aligned with as what is important to you? Because the away moves is feeling sorry for myself,
Mhm.
procrastinate, because I'm hooked with a thought.
Mhm.
And the way the towards move is so I can have the thought, I'm a terrible driver, there is something wrong with my brain. But what is the towards move? And maybe the towards move is I'm going to go for my driving lesson. And I know to remind myself, I always show up. I never canceled a driving lesson, even if I feel really bad about my driving. I need to remember that's it. I need to remember I always show up.
And that's aligned with the way you perceive yourself?
I think the showing up and be consistent is more towards my values
Yeah.
because I don't like to let down people.
Mhm.
So, yeah. So that's interesting because I'm already figuring something out today. Yeah.
So what else would feel aligned with you?
Um, it will feel aligned with me that, well, maybe I've done sounds a little bit outside of the conversation because sometimes I forget the things that I've done. I've done it myself. And I give you an example. Yesterday was the last session with the coaching. Uh, and one,
Congratulations.
thank you. And one of my colleagues, she said, "Oh, I need to work on my website, and my husband has been so helpful, and that." And then I thought to myself, maybe I'm not that bad. Actually, I created my own website. And I forget sometimes those little things that I've done it. Even today, Tony, my partner, was showing me he was looking for something for work, and he said, "Have a look at these websites." And I said to myself, "Oh my God, that's not a good website." And I was joking and said, am I going to start creating websites for people? And so that's it. I need to remember the things that actually I did well. And if I have, there's something wrong with my brain, how can I do? If there was something seriously wrong with my brain, maybe I wouldn't be able to figure out how to create a website.
Well, you could go further than that and say, well, if there's something wrong with my brain, how do I counsel other people? You're a counselor. You work with people's brains. It's like you had a nut neurosurgeon and he's mental, but he's, you know,
That is
digging
so
into
funny.
people's brains.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what can I say? There's not much to say in my defense, in defending my, there's something wrong with my brain.
Besides, like if you're nuts, like if there's something wrong with your brain, then anyone who's in your tribe
Yeah.
is something wrong too, which is me, which is Tony, all your friends. Like we're then, a little too then. Right.
Yeah. But that's
Okay.
that's how I end up sometimes. And
Yeah.
we are having a laugh, but trust me, I have my dark moments, Veronica, that I can just go there. I
Yeah.
really can go there. Yeah.
Right. So you told me about using this, actually the training that you're taking part in, acceptance and commitment therapy. And
Yeah,
you say about those moves
towards, yeah,
towards, and that they are in alignment. And you said one of the things that is in alignment with your values is showing up. So the
yeah,
fact that you don't cancel your driving lessons is you show up and that is important to you, right?
yeah, yeah. I agree.
So
Yes, you're
I
right.
was wondering if you like to figure out what else is aligned with you that would help you in those moments of
Yeah,
self-doubt
it's a good question.
to be like, no, this is who I am
Yeah,
and this is why I keep going.
yes. I think okay. This is related to the training I'm doing. There is an exercise that is called it's the like the metaphor of anchor, and it's an exercise. It's almost like a form of mindfulness, and I start doing, and I find it really helpful.
Okay.
It's the anchoring, which is you recognize there is an emotion or is a negative thought. You stay with it, and then you start connecting to the body. And also you look around you, and then you go back, and then you recognize this is a thought that there is something wrong with my brain. And this is the emotion that I'm noticing. And then coming back to the body and looking around. And it's a really nice way to regulate the nervous system, and I'm listening to that, and it's just a couple of minutes, and you stay, and then it calms me down, and then you can stay with that thought. You're not pushing it away or
Mhm.
even emotion, but then you just feel more in present time and see it for what it is. So I think if I practice that, that will be very helpful.
Okay.
Yeah. That's,
Yeah.
going to write it down. It's called drop anchor. And I can do that. Um, I can do the dropped anchor before my driving lessons. I'm writing it down. It's called drop anchor. Yeah.
If you were very kind to yourself when it comes to your driving lessons, how would that look like?
My mind was like, if I was too kind, I would just get, if I had a lot of money, a driver will take me anywhere.
Right.
Just imagine.
Could
Hello, John. I want to
you pick me up in
pick
five
me
minutes?
up.
In five.
Red carpet, flowers. You're amazing today, Isabel. Thank you, thank you. No, I need to be serious about this. Um,
You don't really.
I don't have to.
You don't
Um,
have to.
I think I need to. I need to remember that um, because I start driving very late in life, I
Hmm.
think makes a big difference in your
Hmm.
confidence. One thing is when you learn to drive when you are 17. Another thing is to learn to drive. Am I going to be 50? I'm 55, I'm going to be 56. There is a big difference. Um, so, and also one of my friends keeps saying, my mom, she started driving at 60. So if she can do it, you can do it. So I think having a bit more of that sense of humor, I think humor works well for me.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I was saying, like, you don't have to be serious, actually. I actually like your humor. Go on, you know.
Oh, I keep asking when I'm going to get the self-driving cars. When are they coming? When are they coming, the self-driving cars? Because I need to drive in the meantime. I need to be a bit lighter. That is what I'm thinking. And then being lighter makes my brain less harsh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it brings me back to like actually why did you decide to get a driving license in the first place, right?
Yes, it's for my work.
Yeah.
I told you that we live in the countryside, so literally we live in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's literally in the middle of
Hmm.
nowhere. So for my work, also if there is something happens and I need to take Tony to hospital, because that has happened, and I have to call a taxi. So even in those situations, I can drive. I don't need to rely on anyone. So just I know it sounds like really simple, but when you live in the middle of nowhere, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, so it's something about being mobile, like being able
Absolutely. Yeah,
to just do the things that need to be done, whether it's work, an
absolutely.
emergency, whatever it might be.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's it.
Are there any, or what are potential positive aspects of it apart from the needs, you know?
Um, um, I think has to do, I need to be careful with this because in a way I'm moving towards my identity, but I need to be cautious around that, not to attach too much on my identity with the driving.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I picked that up too. And
yeah,
I'm wondering, just like very technical things, like the positives about having your own car and being able to drive whenever,
yeah.
wherever you want.
Yes.
What could it be for you?
Well, I think that means that maybe actually I will. leave the house more often because, especially in the winter, if the weather is bad, I only leave if I need to go to work. So that is very restrictive.
Hmm.
If I was driving, I would just think, oh, yeah, how about if I go and do this and I go and do that? So we'll bring more variety. But because I don't drive, I'm much more restricted.
So
Yeah.
what could be the things that you could do?
Um, I could do things that are more spontaneous.
Mm.
Uh, Yeah, do things that are more spontaneous instead of just planning and being obsessed with the weather and just making sure that if I drive in my scooter, I will be safe because I need to do a lot of planning. If there is, for example, a lot of rain or it's very windy, unlikely that I will be able to go anywhere. So it's very restrictive.
Mm.
If I have a car, I don't have to be so restrictive. It's a big
Yeah,
difference. It's a big difference, Veronica.
yeah, like something about the freedom
Yeah,
it gives you.
yeah,
The freedom to be more spontaneous,
yes, yeah,
the freedom to maybe not have to plan and be so strict with, or like, especially as you mentioned, the weather, so unpredictable.
yes, yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
So, what do you think you, mhm. Yeah, I think you've mentioned that. I was going to ask what do you think you'll gain from it? Um, but I think you just kind of mentioned
yeah.
that.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned that we showed up today with a statement, I'm not a good driver, and I have these thoughts. And you said, I just want to see it for what it is,
Yeah,
you know. So you we talked a little bit about those
yeah.
towards
I
moves.
like that. I like that.
Yeah, and you identified you'd like to remind yourself that you always show up, and therefore you
Yes.
don't cancel the lessons, and you just keep showing up,
Yeah.
and you do the work. And you've also mentioned that the exercise drop the anchor that could help you
Yes.
in the moment.
Yes. Yes. I find it really helpful. Uh, and it's just a couple of minutes. And
Yeah.
I have recorded from the course that I can just do it. And I think it's a good way to reset the nervous system.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking about that question that I asked about being kind to yourself.
Yeah.
So I guess my question would be, how can you reframe to keep yourself in this kind of playful, motivated spirit where you identify that you're detached
Oh,
from driving. It doesn't, you know, question or challenge your identity. It's just
yes.
driving,
Yeah.
right? So you mentioned a little bit about that, noticing a detachment.
Yes.
Yeah, so what could you do to try to reframe this in the moment? Or maybe even on a bigger scale, you mentioned some sort of reminders as well, you know?
Um, it has to be something funny.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
It has to be something funny. I was thinking about driving like a petrol head.
What? What's that? Petrol head?
Do you know that expression?
No, is that an English expression?
Ah, it's when you are speeding up and you're just crazy on the road.
Uh-huh.
So having that image that I am on the road, completely careless. Of course, I'm not going to do it,
Yeah.
but just that before I get into the wheel, because
Yeah.
sometimes I make jokes even with my driving
Yeah.
instructor. that I'm so cautious. And then I say, oh, I need to be a petrol head today. And there's something about that. It just makes me chuckle. And
Yeah.
I relax. It does a trick. I'm like a petrol head today when I'm my driving because it's so outside of who I am.
Yeah.
The kind of shifts a bit
Yeah.
from the oh my God, oh there's something. I'm like, I'm petrol head today. I'm like, okay, I go with that. So yeah, that petrol head is just brings a bit of fun and lightness. Yeah, that's what I will take from today. Oh God, that's not a
That's the
good
key
brain.
takeaway of the session.
Welcome to my world, Veronica. Welcome to my world.
Well, I'm just thinking like this is something about, there is something about Isabel being so kind of reasonable, responsible, you
Yeah,
know. And like when I asked you about why do you need a car, you're like, oh, because if there's an emergency, I need to rescue someone, you know. Like this is also serious, like, right? You know, or like, oh, I need to go to work, like serious
yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I really enjoy that playfulness because I think we all need it. We still have 5 minutes. So I guess what I'm trying to say, it would be great if you could dig out that playfulness,
Yeah.
as you said with the driving. Um, I'm just wondering what else I could ask. About, applying it to different areas of your life.
Yeah, yeah,
This kind of playfulness that I think it showed up in my session too. Something to do with taking things seriously makes it, it's almost like you work so hard and you're
yeah.
so tense on this that it's actually too much. Like it's actually
I
too,
agree. I totally agree with you. I
yeah.
totally agree with you.
And what also brings to mind my neuroscience background and the
Any help
neuroplasticity.
is good help, so tell me.
What I wanted to say is that neuroplasticity, that rewiring,
Yeah,
at the end of the day, it brings me back to my tennis stool, and I'm thinking, Jesus, you just need to practice. That's all you need. Like I'm like, there's nothing wrong with your brain. You're not a bad driver. You're not a terrible driver.
it's
You
the
just need to
practice.
practice. Like we're practicing coaching, we're practicing tennis,
Practice.
mindfulness, and
And
driving.
practice. Yeah. You're making a good point, and I tell you why you're making a good point. Because I was asking my driving instructor, I was saying to him, look, his name is Andy. Bless his heart. He's like the saint. He's a saint. If he's my driving instructor, he's a saint, this man. Anyway. I was saying to him, Andy, I wonder if there are people that they are so naturally good. You know, when you see sometimes they are young, they start driving, and they are naturals. And he was taking my comment really serious. He was digging in. There was a silence, and then he said, "Well, the people I know that are good drivers, they drive every day and practice." So my theory that it's just like natural, you just have the good brain, and then you just drive. It was falling apart because he
That
said,
vision of like,
because he said, well, if I think about it, Isabel, they practice every day. I'm like, yeah. So there is no such a thing as perfect brain, perfect driver. That is not, yeah, yeah. That theory is falling apart.
yeah, and I'll contribute because I think it helps. So I'll contribute if you don't mind. I'll ask for your permission, but I think you don't
Yes.
mind. I contribute because I passed my driving license at the age of 19. And I passed it at the age of 19 because I started my driving lessons at the age of 18. And it took me six exams until I passed a year later
Yeah,
after I started.
yeah,
And I was young and I was, I don't know, active. And I remember how my leg was hurting from pressing the clutch.
yeah,
I remember after 3 hours of driving, I was like, oh my God, my leg hurts.
yeah,
And my examiner was telling me that I was doing very well. And then I was going to an exam and always failing on something else. Each time I failed was something else. This time it was this, then another time. He's like, what? Your brakes? Like, you're good with your brakes. What have you done on that
yeah,
exam, Each
yeah,
time. And then I would go back to the lessons. We would do the lessons again. And I would go
yeah,
to another exam and I would mess up something else. And each time. And I was young. I was
yeah.
young. I'm lacked nothing. Apparently quite intelligent. So, like
I know you have
that.
a good brain, so
So, like, if what is good brain, bad brain, don't know. And
yeah,
also, I can tell you the opposite. My best friend, who is my best friend to this day, who I've known since the age of 7, who was my best friend at the same time, same age, meaning we're doing the same things at the same time.
yeah,
She passes the first time. So I'm very upset. And I'm like, how is she doing it? Why can't I do it?
yeah,
Everyone is
yeah.
passing it, but I'm
Bad
not.
brain moment.
I'm the shit one. Like what's wrong with me? Like
Yeah,
I feel so much shame as a young girl.
yeah,
Shame. Big time. I wouldn't admit to anyone, didn't want anyone to know. Don't
yeah,
talk about it. Literally getting red on my face because I feel so much shame that I
yeah,
can't
yeah,
pass
yeah,
in front of my parents. The
yeah.
money, the money bothered me
The money.
massively.
Don't even talk about the money.
And you know what she always told me? She always said, I passed and I was so stressed of driving on the road on my own. There was always someone with me. To this day, she's a terrible driver. She's actually not a good driver.
That's so
To this
fascinating.
day, she is not a good driver and she knows it. We know it. Everyone knows it. And if she has anyone else to drive, it's always someone else. She doesn't want to do it. And her mom is the same, you know? And I am actually a pretty good driver.
Yeah,
And I can drive on both sides of the road. You
yeah,
pack me in my mom's car tomorrow in Poland,
yeah,
and I'll drive on the right side of the road. Never caused an accident. Scratched my car a few times, yeah, when
yeah,
parking.
yeah, yeah. No, it means a lot to me, sharing it. It means a lot to me, Veronica.
And I realized that actually people have been really tough on me, including my boyfriend. And one day I stormed off and I shouted at him and I was like, I do not deserve this shit because I've never had an accident and I'm actually a pretty good driver.
Driver.
I'm not a bloody Formula One driver, but I drive safe on the road.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's slower, sometimes it's faster, you know.
yeah,
But I'm like, I've never crashed my car, you know?
yeah. The proof is in the pudding. If you drive and you didn't kill
So,
anyone so far, you're doing a
it's
good
not,
job.
the point is there's no right or wrong here.
Yeah. No,
And
that was
your
very
brain needs
helpful.
to acquire a new skill.
Yeah.
And maybe we just need patience, thinking
Yeah.
about it. But do we need that? And I just like,
I'm just thinking about the petrol head. Even the word makes me laugh. You see, that's what I'm talking
yeah, but
about.
I still don't know what you're talking about. Like, what does this say?
Petrol head. That is an expression. You can Google it. Petrol head.
It's natural.
I'm
Is
I'm
there a
I'm
picture that
not
comes with
making
it?
it
Because I
up.
have pictures in my head.
If you Google and you go to images, see what comes up.
I
Actually, I'm
see
going to
Fast
do
and
it.
Furious.
Now
Fast
you
and
know.
Furious. And the second
I
one is a
wonder what
mug.
kind of images will come up with petrol heads. Oh God,
Yeah.
it's so tempting.
The second one is a mug that says crazy petrol head. I'm gonna get Isabel, I'm getting this for your birthday. Isabel, where's your birthday? When?
It's 4th of March.
4th of March.
You
And
don't
I'm
need to
gonna
give me
send you a
anything.
WhatsApp message for your address.
Oh my God, petrol head.
Okay. Okay, so what is a key takeaway from all of this, Isabel? about this driving and how
Um,
it spills to the important parts of your life.
Look, I think what was helpful
Mm.
was something you said that I relate to, that this failing was bringing feelings of shame.
Mm.
And that was the shame was almost feeding into this vicious cycle of thinking there is something wrong with my brain. It was almost like a vicious
Yeah.
cycle. And also that there's something about drop the anchor exercise that I can apply to anything. And then the word petrol head, if I even before I because I have a lesson tomorrow, and if I even say to my driving instructor, I'm going to drive like a petrol head, and we just have a chuckle, and I think that will be helpful. So thank you so much for today. I really appreciate.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Um, I feel like we've done a lot of work. You've done a lot of work today.
Thank you. Yeah, I did. I
Going
did.
from kind of quite shallow, oh, there are
Yeah.
some thoughts in my head,
Yeah.
to actually identifying its ties to shame, a very
Yeah.
strong feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing that comes to mind is Brené Brown would say straight away, shame cannot grow in the same petri dish as empathy and compassion.
Yeah.
So that's how you deal with it, with empathy and compassion.
No, thank you.
It's interesting. Very, very interesting. Thank you so much. Hope it was helpful.
I will send you the recording.
Yeah, you can stop it now as well if you want. Um,